gentlemen, welcome back to the Think About It channel. Today we're doing another episode of Hustle, where we interview South Jersey and Philadelphia area entrepreneurs. Today we have Frank Yeung, aka Eggroll. He's the owner and operator of Frankenroll, a company that offers over 100, you heard me say that right, 100, over 100 different varieties and flavors of egg rolls. If that wasn't enough for you people, he also paints, and he does framing and woodworking and clothing design and photography. And somewhere in all that, he does sleep. I don't know where, but he does. Frank is based in Camden County, but will deliver to you if you are in the tri-state area. So Philly, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, you want it, he'll get it to you. What's going on, Frank? It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. So Frank and I know each other from college. We're rowing people.
Owls.
Go prop. I was a sad math major having to sit through physics courses, and he was there because he liked it. And that's sort of how we met. So speaking of science, science is like your academic background along with culinary and art. So when did your passion for all of these things sort of begin?
For science, it was just like an interest in like just general like how things work. And a lot of it had to do with like the people that I had around me. I had like some smart, intelligent people around me. And I feel like when you surround yourself with people like that, you kind of want to do it yourself, kind of want to think for yourself. And then with art, it was a big influence with my sister. I like to say she's the real artist of the family, but she really influenced me with her art, me seeing her art. And then I also was living in Philly at the time, and my friend was a fellow graffiti artist, we'll call him. We would go out at night, explore the city, make our mark. But it slowly evolved into like an indoor art activity, Still keep the spray paint and that kind of quick action painting, but let's see, like that kind of slowly led into my culinary career because my tag name for graffiti is Eggroll. So I had to prove it to the world that I was Eggroll, so I had to create an entire Eggroll business. So if people asked if I could make egg rolls, I would be able to say yes.
So the idea for the business came from graffiti, or it was something you always sort of wanted to do?
It was kind of like a mixture of different things happening. It was came from graffiti because when I was coming up with a graffiti name, I wanted it to be something that I would really like, and I wouldn't be tired of writing thousands and thousands of times. And I wanted it to be something that was like a food that I liked. So I picked egg roll, which is my favorite food. But then it also happened because I've been in and out Chinese restaurants from a young age, working, in the kitchen. And it dawned on me a lot of like the pizza rolls and the cheesesteak rolls that were out there that were like very factory made, like very cheap, doesn't really have what it takes to be a pizza or a cheesesteak. So I had the ingredients, and I kind of wanted to, at least leave this world knowing that I had a proper cheesesteak or pizza roll. And at the same time, I was working at a warehouse, and there was a lots of people that I was working with, big warehouse. So I had just gotten into graphic design, and then created a kind of funny menu for this kind of artist persona I've been creating. And it was a menu of 9 egg rolls, like the original egg rolls. But handed it around on black and white menus, very, very prototype. But then people started ordering it. So then all of these things combined would kind of bring me to making the Eggroll business.
Yeah. So I mentioned in the intro that you have over 100 different variety. Do you know exactly how many you have? How many you offer?
Right now I have a little over 120. I don't think quite 130 yet, maybe shy by one or two, but it's all been I want to say it's like a group effort, between me and my customers, my family and friends, basically between me and the people that I eat with. You know what I mean? People that I would dine with.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a special connection with food, you know? It's more than just like a business of just selling, oh, how many egg rolls can I sell? How much can I upcharge these people? You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. And I'll be throwing some pictures of what you got working with up in the edits here, so people can see them. But some of these things are like you look at them like, ooh, I could go for 4 or 5 of those
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
And what I want to get out there is it's fully customizable. A lot of these roles were either ideas from like the coworkers that I worked with, where the warehouse that these egg rolls were birthed, you know? But there are a lot of different people. That's a lot of different palates, a lot of different people with allergies, people that are gluten free, you know what I mean? Heck, I even have some rolls that are friendly for your pet, like they're not fried, they're boiled, used with rice wrap, instead, so dogs can digest it. It's different. You got to be able to cater to people that aren't usually catered to,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And it's almost like if you want it, you have it. Like some of the flavor, like
Oh yeah,
your egg rolls, you have
I'll make it.
chicken,
I'll
beef,
make
pork,
it.
like you said. Like if you want it, if you can imagine it, egg roll can put it in an egg roll,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it looks
exactly,
fantastic. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. I want to have it be almost like a team effort, you know? I believe that I hope that one day everybody has this kind of artistic feel for cooking where they want to get creative. They want to like maybe see if they could use different ingredients, or hey, we're going through some heavy times now in the economy. Well, how can I, spread a dish or like make a dish like a certain way so I can like spread my ingredients out. You know what I mean? Make them worth their while.
and still not feel like bad about yourself. You like still have
Yeah.
something that's tasty and fun and enjoyable.
Yep. A
For
lot of
sure.
times I'll look in my refrigerator and I'll have leftovers. I could just roll them right up, throw them in the deep fryer. Boom. It's more appetizing now as opposed to
Yes.
leftovers. Now you got deep fried spaghetti and meatball egg roll. You
Yes.
know, had
Yes.
some pulled pork left over. Boom. Pulled pork egg roll.
Yes. Little marinara on the side.
Yep. Yep. The sauces are some themselves. It's a meal. The sauces make it.
That's right. I'm about that. So like a double-headed question here. What is your personal favorite of your selection, and what is your best seller? And we'll throw images
Let's
up
see.
in the video here.
My favorite, I gotta say, is the shrimp and crab because I'm a big seafood person.
Hmm.
And that was one of the first rolls, and it has crab meat in it. It's imitation, but I like to use the same kind that is in California rolls. But I try and find a good quality one, and then I use always 3 pieces of medium-sized shrimp. You know what I mean? You want one per bite at least. But then it comes with a side of spicy mayo, homemade, of course. And it reminds me of like the California roll mixed with the shrimp tempura roll, kind of,
Hmm.
because with all my egg rolls, I use like a Parmesan breadcrumb
Ooh.
with like an egg wash. But then, let's say you're allergic or you're vegetarian, I could use like a flour, instead. But there's always workarounds to
Yeah.
like. It's always like a test for me. Let's say like I get 2 people at the stand. Oh, one of them's vegetarian. Oh, he doesn't have any vegetarian. Hey, I'll work with you. We got this, or we can make it like this. You know what I mean?
And
Like it's almost like
I imagine that keeps it fun for you too.
yeah, yeah. Everything is almost like a challenge if you look at that way. Like everything, you put fun in everything, you know?
What is are some of your most unique flavors?
Oh, so some of the most unique ones, let's see. There's like a crawfish etouffee one that's got like, like a Louisiana kind of vibe to it.
Hmm.
Let's see. We got like a bourbon chicken one, or we can do like a brisket. I love me a brisket, you know? Let's see. Haven't tried squid yet, but hey, if people ask for it, I'll make it.
They'll do it if you ask for it. Let's hop over to your art side now, because there's sort of like the egg roll side and the art side. So let's put on that cap real quick. Um, when did the art side start becoming more serious?
The art side, I have always tried to keep very, very casual because I've always told people, I'll tell you right now, I'm not a cook. I'm not a chef. People may call me that, but I am always truthfully an artist because art and artistry, I feel like, has a different vibe than just painting. It's like a way you do things. You could find art in anything, in writing, in carpentry, in culinary. But with the painting career, it honestly started with two people, my sister and my friend from Philly that I did graffiti with. And like those two elements, I feel like just brought back because when I was younger, I did do some drawing and I did do some art, but I gave up on that. But those two people reignited my artistic love.
And you're not just painting, like a lot of what you do is painting, but I've seen you've done some pretty cool like woodworking stuff. You've done a lot of nice job framing your own pieces. I've seen you do designs for some clothing. I know you recently did a bunch of hats. You did like painters hats.
Oh,
Um,
yes, yes.
so it's not you're not just you're a multi-medium kind of guy.
Yeah, the tie-dye actually came from I do mostly tie-dye. I get some prints from friends. I like to support small businesses. So a lot of the stuff, if I can be outsourced, through friends and family. But then the tie-dye came from the egg rolls. Because when I was cooking egg rolls, that's a big deep frying job, you know?
Hmm.
And when you deep fry, everybody knows you get a little bit of spots on the shirt. I started wearing white shirts, had to start throwing them away, but then I decided to switch to black shirts. You still get a little bit of dirtiness on the black shirts. So then I had the idea to start tie-dyeing on my shirts so that if I ever did get stains from sauce or oil or anything, they would just look like it was part of the tie-dye.
That's smart.
So then I found a friend that made tie-dye. She's excellent at it. She's the better tie-dye artist than me. She's my sensei. But then she taught me how to tie-dye. I started getting the hang of it, and it is another form of art. Like just seeing the colors and how nature and water itself makes the different styles and designs. Like you can't really control it. When you have art where it's just something where, let's say it's watercolor, where you can't control how the water dries on the paper, and then let's say it's graffiti with spray paint. If it's a windy day, it's a completely different painting.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you could have a certain thought in at 5 a.m. in the morning that you could have missed out on if you didn't write it down. Everything's very fleeting, and then when you can catch those moments, that's what we call art.
Yes. And the cool thing about like a lot of what you do is they are all one of a kind. Like you said, like you can sort of tie dye in the same general pattern, but like but like you said, it depends on how the dye's moving, how the water's
Yeah,
moving. Same thing with like you said with your paintings, like how the wind blows. So that I think that's what makes it like cool. The magic in the art there too is that
Yep, yep,
even if you come out with a set idea of what you're gonna do, that doesn't mean it's gonna turn out that way.
exactly. At first, we think we're as artists, we're some sort of guide almost, right? But then at the end, when the art is done, we realize that we're just a witness. We thought we were guiding, but it wasn't really us doing anything in the end.
That's
We're a
interesting
witness
take.
of the art being made.
I've
We're
never
just
thought
the
about
ones
it like
lucky
that.
enough. Yeah, we're the ones lucky enough to get first row seats.
I like that thought. I've never had that thought
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Uh,
I never had that thought before either.
yeah,
Because of this conversation, though, we have new thoughts.
we're thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah. It takes two to think.
Do you find it hard balancing the egg rolls and the art at the same time? Because they both, I imagine, take up a lot of your time.
Yes, they both do take up a lot of time. They take up a lot of love, let's say.
That's true too.
And like as humans, we only have so much love every day. You know, if you eat well, sleep well, you get more. But every day I try to balance it by just doing what I want in the moment. I know sometimes I'll take little sabbaticals from art or sabbaticals from cooking, but I only do it in 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 the hopes to become better. You know, like I don't believe in doing one task fully for the rest of your life. We're not robots. We're humans, you know, and I think that as humans, we're also children. And as children, we want to do everything. And I think that if you truly want to master anything, you have to delve into everything. You have to be on that farm, stepping in the horse poop to be able to paint that landscape.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta have that life or death situation to be able to write
Hmm.
about that thriller that you have on your mind. You
Hmm.
know, like you gotta go to China to be able to make Chinese food. It all enhances what
Hmm.
you want to do for art, and it all plays in. There's been times I've been putting the sauce on the egg rolls, you know, with the special, you know, getting the salt, shaking the salt on, you know, specific way. But then later on, I'll be painting that night, and I'll find that if you put the paint in the sauce bottles, you could do the same thing with your painting. You know, everything is transferred to the next thing you do.
That's cool.
That's what gives it that special style. So
Yeah.
many artists in the past, if you look at their life, you'll completely understand why they made the art that they made. It's not that they had that style that they tried to build, it's that they were that style. And the things they did in their life flew through into their artwork.
Yeah. Very, very cool. And again, something I never thought about until just now. Which is
Again, me
which is
neither. You
fun.
know, maybe I had these thoughts separately in my mind, but then you talking to you, having this interaction, helped me combine them, you
That's
know?
that's part of what we're here for. Part
Yeah,
of what we're here
yeah.
for. So to sort of wrap things up, what are sort of your goals moving forward with both your art and your egg rolls?
So let's see. I used to think it was to end world hunger and to end world boredom, but that's too grand. So now I want to make myself into almost like a human virus in a way, but of ideas and actions. A human virus in culinary arts, being able to intrigue people with my culinary actions so much so that they themselves go home and try for themselves, you know, to instill that artistic fever in people, to be able to paint something so beautiful that others immediately go home and buy a paint set,
Very
you
cool.
know? I don't want fame or money. I've seen so many people suffer because they have both.
Mhm.
But like, I want others to experience the joy that I've gained from these two activities, you know? Not even any of at this point, all of my skill sets or hobbies, I would like to call them, they're just bleeding into one separate hobby, you know? Like anything I see that looks fun, I want to try,
I hear
you
that.
know? It could be uh fixing my car when I'm on the side of the road, you
Hmm.
know? It could be sweeping the floor. You know what I mean? Like in anything you can find some sort of fun feeling or kind of drive. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just that we're pressured to think that we have to sometimes feel like we're not having fun. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
It's like becoming unbecoming a child, you
Yeah,
know? They
yeah.
call it growing up, but I don't think it's really growing up.
I hear that. I hear that. If people have enjoyed this conversation and they've made it this far, and they're like, man, I want to see more of what this guy's doing. I want to be a part of that train. I want to be part of that network. Where can they find you online?
Oh, I got my website that I'm always forever updating under construction. But there's a lot of my paintings and my clothing on there. My full menu of over 120 egg rolls is on there. You can click on each one. They got the ingredients. Some of them got pictures. Some got nutrition facts. But yeah, yeah, my information's on there too. So you could Instagram me, Facebook me, my number's on there. You can call me at night. But yeah, like I'm always around
Awesome.
here for commissions, always there.
And I'll be sure to throw all of your links in the description so people can find you and
Thank you. Thank you.
be a part of the journey with you.
Thanks so much, Adam.